Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? This is that man A&J, and we are back with the best of pro wrestling and sports talk, the best of sports and pro wrestling talk. Either way you look at it, you'll want to be right here for either or. And of course, with this, admittedly, I'm cutting it a little bit closer than I need to be, at least to show time for Elimination Chamber here in the next hour or so. Pre-show is starting in the next 30 minutes, of course, so I'm going to fire this off as quickly as I can so y'all can check this out. Hopefully y'all are able to make time at least before the pre-show or even during it if y'all are good too. Greatly appreciate that either way, but regardless, I appreciate that you're here regardless. So, with that in mind, we're going to jump into a couple of things, well, a few things rather, but these ones are actually really, really interesting. I gotta admit, and I apologize, not even so much for having the 2-day lapse or anything like that, but I just really wasn't aware of a lot of different things apparently, and one of which starts with Leila Hirsch, as she is no longer with All Elite Wrestling, and I gotta say, this is a little bit shocking and certainly disappointing to say the very least. Unfortunately, she of course wound up running into a bit of an injury issue, and from there just wasn't utilized the same. As I understand it, was utilized on Ring of Honor, but I'm not sure to what extent because I don't watch Ring of Honor nearly enough to say. That being said, it's just unfortunate because I personally felt like Leila Hirsch gave a specific, I'm not going to say she was giving identity to AEW, but there was an aspect of AEW's identity that easily resides within Leila Hirsch without any question, and it's just a little bit sad to see, but of course the reality is that Tony Khan just got real happy in terms of stockpiling talent, and you could still argue he's guilty of that to a degree even now, but the reality is, you know, it's a matter of, on one hand, he does make better offers apparently to certain folks than what WWE is willing to, and that's just the way that it is. I mean, you can't really fault either side for that, but this is kind of where I say you can't fault the wrestler for wanting to sign with AEW for whatever it is that they're giving to him, because it is what it is. You gotta go where the fucking money's at. It's really that simple. You know, that's just the way this shit works. And for me, hopefully wherever it is that Leila Hirsch ends up landing, I hope that she's utilized to the extent that she deserves, because she's a powerhouse. And I'm not just saying for the sake of what she presented to us during her time in AEW, but, you know, she's a powerhouse in the sense that you get so much more with Leila in terms of just a performer. You're getting a commodity that, you know, sometimes it's just better to not try to put words to it or anything like that. You just let her do her thing and you see what she has to offer. So, all that being said, hopefully we see Leila Hirsch land somewhere sooner than later. I'm not sure if there's going to be a no-compete clause. I'm thinking not, because they're just letting her contract expire. So WWE, TNA, even GCW or NWA or wherever, hopefully, again, sooner than later. But with that in mind, speaking of sooner than later, got some interesting things going on pertaining to Triple H, where it turns out apparently a lot of big things are bound to happen, specifically with tonight's Elimination Chamber, which, as he said, is expected to be an industry-changing event. Now, what in the actual Disney Channel fuck does that mean? I have no actual clue beyond the fact of what all of us can speculate, and probably have been speculating on them. A little bit late to the party on some of this, ergo this late-ass video that I'm recording, but if nothing else, I gotta say this is something, and I gotta say shout out to Ango, because I was just watching one of his videos, he pointed it out. If this is anything remotely lackluster, he's gonna be on him about it. just so to speak. I mean, that's just paraphrasing, of course. But I have to agree with that. And especially with as much crap, as much shit as a lot of people love giving to Tony Khan and AEW, yeah, no, you gotta absolutely hold Trips accountable if he falls short of anything spectacular tonight. I mean, and I don't even necessarily think it needs to be spectacular, but there definitely needs to be an oh my fucking god, what the shit moments, like, just all over the fucking place. Like, it doesn't have to be wall to wall, but it just, like, we need to be getting hit with that almost rapid fire, like, kind of shit. And I got a feeling that's probably what's going to wind up happening. A lot of people are talking about possibly the return of Aleister Black, and a whole host of other things. Jade Cargill could possibly be making her appearance tonight in Toronto. She has been said to be in Buffalo, and of course Buffalo isn't all that far away from Toronto. So yeah, I gotta imagine we're gonna be seeing something tonight, and we might actually get something of a payoff for this storyline. And I gotta say, with everything involving Jade, Bianca, and Naomi, just given some of the mishaps we've had with it, it's definitely needing a really good payoff. But nonetheless, we're going to move right along to, well, speaking of big payoffs. Oh, man, we got to talk about our guy John Cena here. Or, wait, actually, we got to talk about John Cena here. Yeah, this isn't quite John Cena, but of course it's a simulated version of John Cena. Shout out to Element Games. Definitely check out their stuff. I'm going to try to find a link and actually get this in the description of the video. Their content is nothing short of amazing. Love what they do. This is actually something from one of their storylines where they did Hollywood John Cena, a la Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And of course you notice the NWO gear. Why am I doing this, you ask? Well, as late of the day as it is, it's actually 10 after 4 here in Denver. I mean, at this point I feel like I'm just stating the obvious. I feel like this is something that's already been talked about a lot today, and probably even last night. And let's just be real, I gotta believe we're all thinking it. I think Cena's gonna accept The Rock's offer. I really do. I mean, God. Tonight's going to be wild as fuck. I can already tell. I'm feeling it in my bones. Now, of course, recently we've gotten a storyline where the final boss, The Rock, apparently wants Cody Rhodes sold. To the point to where we're calling him Dwayne Sung, in case you haven't caught that on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. He's Dwayne Sung now. He's no longer The Rock. He doesn't even need to be the final boss. He's just Dwayne Sung. Because he wants Cody's soul. Or he wants somebody's soul, apparently. But basically, he wants a corporate champion. Obviously, we're going to be getting Cody's answer to that proposal tonight. And I think we're all of the same mindset. I don't see a scenario where Cody says yes to this. But there's no reason to believe that we won't see Cena accept it. Now, the funny thing about it is that, again, I don't think there was any point where we wanted to believe that Cody was going to go through with that. So that just left the question, who could it be? It just makes too much sense. I mean, let's think about it here. He penciled himself in automatically for the Elimination Chamber. No qualifying match, no nothing, just using that good old John Cena credibility. And not that he doesn't fucking deserve it. I mean, the guy has just been nothing short of the standard bearer, not even just for WWE, but perhaps even the business as a whole for, shit, what, like 17 years or something crazy like that? Longer than that, I imagine. Shit. Either way, the point I'm trying to make here is that we gotta be getting 17 at WrestleMania. And I'm a little bit more convinced about that now, but even more so after the fact that at the end of SmackDown last night, as we all know, The Rock had the shit with that weight belt. And all the shit that he said. I'm not even going to go into that. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. But either way, yeah. I'm not saying this is exactly what we get tonight, but we getting the Cena heel turn tonight. I don't know any other way to look at it, but I think we get the Cena heel turn tonight. And of course, Darren and myself, we already been talking about it. He's about to see this right now. Yeah. Anyway, y'all know what it is. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think down below. I mean, come on. We all gotta be thinking it, right? We all gotta be thinking it. Watch me be right.